Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to do a small review of the Essence Camouflage Healthy Glow Concealer. Concealer. This is something I've been using for a while now, so this is nothing new for me, but it's something that I definitely have thoughts about, so I decided to make an own video of this one. So the basics. This is from the Essence, so this is very affordable concealer. I think this is around €4 in stores. They have a matte version of this. I haven't tried this because I don't use matte products, basically never. Especially my concealer is something that I always look forward to have some kind of glow and moisture on my under eye area. I do use matte concealer next to my nose sometimes, so that's only reason why I might purchase that one. But usually I wear my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer on that area just because it just stays put all day, so I haven't had the need to purchase any new one. This concealer has quite a good coverage. I did a test which is showing now that I first used this concealer on my one eye, under eye, without no primers, only my moisturizer. Usually I use my Becca kind of under eye primer on under my makeup, but this time I didn't use that. And on the other eye I use my It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. The reason why I chose that one is that that is my most full coverage concealer what I have. In this Essence concealer I have the shade 10, and in this It Cosmetics I think it's the lightest one I have. And I was actually a bit surprised to see that these both have similar coverage. I thought that this Essence one would be just a bit less coverage than the It Cosmetics one, but when applied next to each other they look really similar. And also I tried here to build both of these concealers up to full coverage. I usually don't build my coverage to full coverage, I want the medium coverage. But this time I tried to build them up, and both of those did build up. I would say that this Essence side is tiny bit less full coverage, but they look very similar on after building up. And then I did use the powder I always use, which is the Becca brightening powder, and you can see that I use quite a small amount of the powder, and I always start powdering from the outer corner just because I have most of my lines in my inner corner, and I want to use the tiniest amount of powder possible on that area. And after I had powdered these both sides, they looked basically the same. Only thing is that the Essence side is just the tiniest bit less full coverage as it was before the powder, so no surprises with that. I've had this concealer now on I think more than an hour, so I did my under eye first and then I started to do my makeup, and I took my time doing it because I wanted to test this Essence eyeshadow palette. It's new one from this season. This is the new Hello New York palette. I did a look using this palette this week on Instagram. This is how the palette looks like. So I did a look using this palette, and people were so excited about that, and I too, it turned out really well, so I wanted to test this again, and I have to say I'm really impressed with this palette. I usually am not a person who likes Essence eyeshadow just because they are too dry. They just don't stick, and the pigmentation there's not enough, but this palette is really good one palette. I won't even say good for the price because this is good as it is. It could be more expensive, and I would still say it's a good palette. So definitely, if you can find that, grab that. But to the concealer, I took my time, and after more than an hour, these both sides look still exactly the same. So I am a bit surprised, because I've always thought that the IT Cosmetics concealer is more emollient, more light reflecting, more thick and more creamy. It is, the consistency is more thick, it's not liquidy at all. So I thought that these would look different, that this one from Essence would be less full coverage and less glowy and less everything that the IT Cosmetics is. I'm not saying in worse way, but just different way. But surprisingly, now that I have built them up and used the same amount of powder, they look really similar. I have used this concealer for a long time now, and it's one of my favorites. And the reason is because it is so hydrating on my under eye. I have very, very dry skin, and I do have sometimes eczema on my under eye area, so I really need to be quite picky about which kind of concealer I use, and this is something that works every time I use this. I have tried to use this without setting it with powder, but that causes a massive amount of creasing. And also, as I have the tendency that my mascara gets smudged on my under eye area, so if I don't use powder with this, smudging will be much worse. So I do want to set this with the tiniest amount of powder. I need to be picky about the powders, of course, because I want to avoid any dryness on my under eye. And I have found out that this Pekka powder, as well as the more affordable dupe of e.l.f. Under eye powder, they both work really well, and they don't dry my skin as well. Also, the Hourglass Veil powder is great for under eye because it's not so drying. And I have tried all these powders with this concealer, and they work very similarly, very well, so no problems with those. What I want to say is that if you have oily skin, this is not the concealer for you, because this is so kind of thick formula and hydrating, and this won't dry down. This will stay kind of moist during the day. So with oily skin, this is not the best one. I haven't used this during summertime, but I think that I won't be able to use this during summertime, only because I do sweat. Then of course, if it gets warm in here in Finland, it might not, you never know. But if there is very warm weather, I think this is too moist even for me to use, but we'll see how it goes. But at least now during winter, during harsh weather, very cold weather, wind and snow and dry in indoors air, this has been performing really well. The shade range, as you know, with Essence, they have this Nordic shade range, so there is 4 different kind of light. I know they have been expanding shade range to a little bit, but not very much in other products. So I would say that if you have fair or light skin, you will find your match, but if you have something else, they just don't have, which is a shame, because it's a great concealer, and I would be really happy to see them expanding the shade range to more deeper skin tones as well. But as a conclusion of this concealer, this is something for you. This is a great concealer for you if you have dry skin, if you have mature skin, if you want to have something you can use lighter or build it up. It works very well with powder, so you can really have a long-lasting concealer, and it will last long even without powder, but just you need to remember that it will crease on you, so it's nowhere crease proof concealer. They do say that it's waterproof. I haven't tested I can't say anything. There is vitamin E and provitamin B5, so it's supposed to be at least some kind of nourishing also for your skin, but how much that this includes those vitamins, it doesn't say here. Probably not that much to have a significant amount to make any difference. I'm a bit skeptic with these vitamins in a makeup product, because you really would have to need to have quite a large amounts of those ingredients in the product to make any big difference. But for sure it doesn't do any harm, so they are great ingredients in that way. But in any way, I do enjoy this concealer. I've been using it almost daily during this maybe 3 months, 4 months now. I really love this, and also I love the luminosity, so I don't have to use any brightening like Becca brightening product when I'm using this. So this is very good everyday concealer, quick to use, easy to use, great for dry skin. So that's about it. If you have any questions, anything you want to comment or everything, please leave comments below. And if you did like this review, please give me a thumbs up, otherwise I wouldn't know. If you have any requests of the concealers you want me to review, please let me know and I'll purchase and test that. Now I wish you have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.